because the Spanish FA just sent me a message saying, thank you Valencia, thank you Mestalla, tickets sold out. No more tickets on sale for Spain-Netherlands on Sunday night. And yes, I'll be there. It made me think of the fact that I wonder how many have bought tickets for the game, not simply to support Spain, to try to send them through to the Nations League Final Four, but to reserve a hostile welcome for the Dutch coach Ronald Koeman. The reason simply wouldn't be that Holland are a threatening opponent who could put Spain out. And I don't think the reason simply would be the rough and ready way in which the Netherlands got after the European champions on Thursday night, mostly legitimately. But I think there'll be a hostile welcome, and part of what will be wrapped up in that is the fact that Koeman is going back to the Mestalla, going back to the club he coached. Do you remember? 2007, 2008, Quique Sanchez-Flores was sacked by an idiot president called Juan Soler. Koeman was brought in and told that part of the deal for him being in charge at Valencia was that he had to bully and then cut out completely Cañizares, former Real Madrid and Spain goalkeeper, Angulo, brilliant midfielder, wide player, occasional wing back, who then went on in later years to be head of the academy and is still there too, and the club captain David Albelda. Now, for my taste, to his shame, Koeman, in December of that season, the short time he was at the club, took the players in and told them they were out for good. They couldn't find their way back. They couldn't play their way back. They were out. They were told to find a club. When their agents went and contacted Valencia about this shock development mid-season for three legends of the club, they were told, well, you'll have to find a club to buy out your rescission clause. In the case of Albelda, that was 60 million euros. In other words, told by the coach they would never play for the club again, told by the club they had to go and find somebody willing to splash out gigantic money in mid-season. Eventually the case went to court. Valencia lost a ruling where it said that they had treated the players illegally. And Koeman in that season was taking the most extraordinary trajectory in that Valencia eliminated Barcelona from the Cup semi-finals. Valencia were packed full of good players: David Villa, Ruben Baraja, David Silva, Morientes. Right across the team, really good footballers, including the three that he'd kicked out. But he took them down towards the bottom of the league. In fact, by the time he was sacked, after they'd won the Cup 3-1 against Getafe, David Villa scoring, Mata scoring, what a side they had. They'd won the Cup, but they were 2 points from relegation and Koeman was sacked, kicked out. Immediately, the caretaker manager, Voro, stepped in and said, I will take over again under the condition that I can immediately use Cañizares, Angulo and Albelda. He did. Gradually, they got match fit again and Valencia saved themselves from relegation, a position that they're in again this season. And I think that because Koeman was pretty immediately sacked in April, 4 or 5 days after that cup final, after a thrashing by Athletic Club, I think there's still bad feeling towards him. I think there will still be memories of the way in which he treated club legends. So when he comes out at Mestalla, already a hostile audience, a hostile stadium, I think there'll be those who say, yeah, we remember you. This booing, this whistling is for that as well as for tonight. What happened in the end? Well, Valencia have been through 25 changes of coach since that April 2008. That's a lot. Koeman went on an up and down trajectory in Holland, back at Barcelona, Netherlands manager, where I think he's in a little bit of jeopardy if he doesn't win this tie and go through. But nonetheless, he remains an iconic figure both in Dutch and Spanish football. He tends to divide opinion. There's polemic about him. But what did happen was that Albelda, Cañizares and Angulo went back to the club they loved, saved it then, just like the club needs saving now. I wonder, will you be watching? I wonder what kind of reception Koeman gets at Mestalla on Sunday night. Now you know a little bit of background to the story. Tomorrow I'll bring you my first-hand report about how the game goes, about how Spain's chances of retaining the Nations League look over and extinguished, or alive and kicking. They've got a couple of players missing, but just remember, in life, when life gives you lemons, just make lemonade. Stay tuned.